welcome back, everybody. It's the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by DEK Roofing Incorporated. And a quick shout out to John Deck down there. My son will be flying down there tomorrow, spending the weekend down there. He's got a soccer thing at one of the local universities, so he's going to stay with John Deck, and John is nice enough to put him up and all that stuff. So thank you to him. And welcome back to Scarps. Scarps was, shall we say, indisposed last week. Had some friends come into town, and let's just say by the time we recorded this podcast, I'd say he was probably sound asleep. Is that fair to say?
I got about 12 hours of shut-eye that night. And you know what? I will spare our viewers that interaction of what it might have been.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would have been great.
It would, yeah.
Next time.
I mean, we have had a few shows where certain members of the podcast team have definitely had a lot to drink, and
yes,
look, we still have loyal listeners and viewers, and so it couldn't have been that bad, Scarps. That's all I can tell you.
Lesson learned. Next time, I will join.
Yeah. Before we get rolling on the Steelers, Scarps, I was thinking of you the last couple of days. I watched this documentary, this series on Netflix about a soccer team over in England called Sunderland. The series was Sunderland Till I Die. My son's coach recommended it, and I watched it. And a lot of it centers on the media relations, the PR guy. What do we do? Oh, geez, what happens here? And man, I mean, it never stops. And this is a fairly big club over there. They haven't done well the last 5 or 6 years. But I thought of you guys because you don't get a break, do you?
Yeah, those moments where there's not a lot happening or few and far between.
Yeah.
And they're very welcomed. Off the top of my head, I can think of some of those moments. It's usually right after the season ends and Coach Tomlin have his final press conference. But then you're always into the season review, and then you're into the media guide. So actually, you know what? I would say right now, at this moment, those weeks before training camp and after mini camp were some of the most finest moments I've had during my career. As long as nobody does anything stupid,
right.
It's like it's kind of we don't have to pay attention as much as we normally do. But especially in sports, you never know what can happen at any given moment in the off season. You're right.
As a fan, the part of the year where I'm most nervous is
always
between
the
end of OTAs and camp. I'm like, oh God.
Yep.
Yeah, and
don't fuck up.
Yeah, and as someone that worked for the team, those were always moments where we're like, please God, don't let anything happen. Because it was always just like it was those moments like where like you felt like you had like that normal 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
You'd be in the office at normal times, like, and I hate to say normal because I mean that's what most people work. But for us,
what's normal?
9 to 5 was not normal. That was abnormal. So, you had those opportunities where like, and to be truthful, it wasn't even always 9 to 5. And you know what? I'm not going to feel bad for that because it was like, I'm not going to sit here just to sit here and wait for somebody to do something stupid. So, those are the moments that I do cherish. Looking back on it, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Those are the moments where I was like, oh yeah, like, you know what? It's summer, it's whatever, but like, I don't have to look at my phone every 15 seconds. Don't have to worry about it. And you know what? Here's the good part. If somebody does something stupid, we're probably not going to have it after. We're not going to have a press conference until training camp.
Right.
But also, you know what? We already got that generic statement prepared.
Oh, for sure.
We're aware of what has happened, but we're not going to comment further. We're gonna let the investigator, the police do their part or whatever it was, and it's just like none of my business after that. Just let it rip, you know.
That's funny. Yeah, a lot of the standard stuff, probably right on the corner of the desk. And also congratulations to Ian and his wife. They welcomed in a new baby, a girl, just yesterday. And knowing Ian,
now, don't they?
They have a six pack now.
He is six-pack.
And the guy, I'm telling you what, he said, send me an invite. I might be able to make it tonight. I'm thinking to myself, my God, I had 2 and I didn't know what the hell I was doing 1 minute to the next. He's got 6. He just his management skills are unbelievable to be able to even consider it. Yeah. So anyway, congratulations to them. Tomorrow is the birthday of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben, you pointed that out today just in our general conversation.
89 years.
89 years, which means next year, of course, there will be a 90th anniversary patch, I'm sure, slapped on the jersey, decal on the helmet, something like that. They did
Probably means also a different alternate uniform next year.
I would think so. I think you're exactly right. And also you pointed out too, this is, I don't know if you can ever have 2 things on the same day that were more appropriate.
Yeah.
Jack Lambert's birthday tomorrow as well. And I mean, the 2 things could not be more synonymous for obvious reasons. But anyway, happy birthday to our beloved Steelers. So I'm going to start with a little bit of the AFC North stuff, because this week the Browns finally moved Baker Mayfield. And look, I think, anytime we're talking about a Browns player, it's preconceived you don't like him.
But he's not a Browns player anymore.
No, he's not. I admit, I respect the hell out of the kid for last year. I mean, he played with a torn labrum. He didn't have to. He easily could have said, to hell with it, I'm having surgery. And he gutted it out. And, his last game was in Heinz Field. And
it was terrible. It was
sacked like 9 times, I think. Yeah. And look, the writing was on the wall for him when they signed Deshaun Watson. But, Ben, how does this impact the Browns?
First, the Browns are spending a guaranteed $55.5 million next year on 2 quarterbacks, neither of which will start for them week 1.
No.
Okay?
No.
That right there says a lot to me. I think the Browns are basically banking on the fact that next year might not go well. $55 million for Jacoby Brissett plus whatever he costs, probably a couple mil on top of that. Probably things aren't going to go super well next season, and they're just kind of going, well, 2023 isn't that far away. We'll ride it out then. The speculation now is that he's going to get an 8-game suspension, which will piss off a lot of fans. But what they're going to do is they're going to say, in effect, it's a 25-game suspension. You're going to return the $10 million that the Texans paid you last year to the Texans. You're going to be out that income, and you're going to forfeit 8 game checks this year for a total of 25 games. That's the speculation right now. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I'm hoping for more along the lines of 2 more years, no paying, no playing, no paycheck, no nothing. But it's probably not going to happen. But they do have the precedents that Major League Baseball set with Trevor Bauer. They're also staring down, the fact that they suspended a wide receiver for a $1,500 bet for a minimum of 1 year, as opposed to this guy who's got at least 25 allegations that we know of, and apparently more ladies considering joining the fray.
Yeah, this is not over.
No,
yeah.
It's never going away anyway, man.
No.
I mean, think about it. All the shit with Ben, None of that was even.
No, it took years.
I don't want to. I don't want to delve into this.
I know.
There wasn't a lot of credibility to those accusations. All right.
Yeah.
And if you didn't read the police reports, I don't know if you can still dig them up. I read all of it because I wanted to argue Steelers fans because I was pissed at him.
Yep.
I also sent all of my name is Ben, so I had a lot of Ben shit. I had his jersey. I had a bunch of T-shirts, a bunch of other things, a bobblehead.
Same.
I sent it all back to the Steelers and said I don't need it anymore. And I still don't have a Roethlisberger jersey, and I won't wear one again because whether or not he did what he was accused of, he's an idiot for putting himself in that position.
Himself in the position. Yeah.
Okay. All of that said, this thing with Deshaun Watson, this is 12 times the number of allegations.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've already laid out before, my opinion, at minimum, what he was doing was looking for easy sex by using the power dynamic to get that out of the situation, or he's a predator. And it's probably somewhere in the middle because we're talking about no fewer than 66 massage therapists he approached through Instagram. And then, that doesn't even get into the fact that the Texans basically aided him in it and said, you're doing this to really? Well,
there have been
provide you with a controlled environment and some NDAs for these ladies to sign before they rub your taint in happy baby position. The whole thing is appalling.
No,
seriously,
you get no argument from me.
At best, it's appalling. At worst, the guy's a fucking predator like Harvey Weinstein, and they should throw him in prison.
Ryan, the two questions. Number one is if they go 8 games, and again, Ben also added the games, obviously, that he didn't play last year, but let's just talk about this season. If they do the 8 games, A, is that enough? And B, would you buy that the Browns maybe internally are just saying, to hell with this season coming up. We know we're not going to have our guy. Maybe we luck into a few wins. Maybe we find ourselves, in a chance for a playoff spot. Maybe not. So what do you think about those 2 points there, the 8 games and then what the Browns' approach might be?
Real quick, Steelers celebrating their 90th birthday next year will be much better because, I don't know if you know this, they got a guy that wears number 90 that's pretty cool. That is better than the guy that wore the throwback jersey in – actually, I shouldn't say – yeah, he's better. Isaac Redman wore the throwback jersey in 2012. No disrespect to Isaac Redman for donning that bumblebee. But, so getting back to your question, 8 games, I don't mean to be judge, jury, and executioner here, but you read a lot of different things on the internet. You read a lot of different rumblings and whatnot. People might remember, or maybe they don't, that Ben's original suspension was 6 games. 6. Correct. Reduced to 4.
Yep.
To me, if Deshaun Watson got 8 games off the bat, it's a slap in the face to fans, especially female fans. Again, I don't know what happened with Ben. I don't condone what happened with Ben. I don't support it in any way. I just don't know. But I will say this. The accusations against Ben were fewer than 5 at least. He didn't have 60 plus therapists, massage therapists, whatever you want to say. Bottom line, if Deshaun Watson only got suspended 8 games right off the bat, I think that would be a slap in the face to female fans of the league. That's just me.
And just real quick, Ryan,
a lot of people are going to feel that way too, Ryan.
They are.
Not just female fans. Yes, agreed.
The female fan base is growing in the NFL rapidly.
Agreed. And when I worked there, the Steelers had the highest female fan base in the league, even after the stuff that happened with Ben. So, and I'm not saying that, and here's the other thing too, like, that doesn't mean that female fans don't think Ben was guilty of something, right? You know what I mean? Like no one's always innocent. So that being said, when you have 60-something plus massage therapists in a given time and you're accused of so many, and this is to me, if he is not suspended for at least another full season, which would mean he would be 2 full seasons of not playing.
Yep.
If he's not suspended at least another season off the bat, that is a total joke. Now, if let's just say he has suspended a full season and it gets reduced to 12 games, I don't know. I really don't know at that point. Like, I'm not going to sit here and beat that drum that he should
right.
But there is a clear pattern behavior with Deshaun Watson. And I know this goes back to Baker Mayfield, which we can talk about in a second.
Behavior, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's a clear pattern behavior. And you know what? I'm going to say this. You talked about not being a fan of Baker Mayfield. I was a fan of Baker Mayfield when he didn't play the Steelers, because that dude got guts, stones, intestinal fortitude, whatever you want to call it. And you know what? That Ben's final home game against the Steelers at Heinz Field, that dude got hung out to dry.
He did.
And I said
his line on the show like shit.
Yeah.
I said this on this show. Yep. The NFL should investigate Vegas for the line and for the money line that was on that game, because those dudes quit on him. And you want to talk about the difference between Myles Garrett and TJ Watt? And I know Myles was hurt last year, whatever. TJ Watt, even though they weren't even in the playoffs, wanted to kill Baker Mayfield. Myles Garrett literally looked like he wanted Ben to win his final home game.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between that.
Myles Garrett
suggested that.
TJ Watt was talking shit during the game.
Yeah.
When it was clear the outcome was what it was.
Yeah.
He literally was like, he's like pointing at, like, listen, when you point at a quarterback in like the first quarter, like the famous Jordan line is, man talks shit when it's 0-0. That's when you know he's talking shit. Like when a man talks shit when he's up, there's a difference. Like it was like 0-0. TJ Watt's just like pointing at him, like I know what you're gonna do. And I'm just like, at that point, I even felt bad for Baker Mayfield. I was like, oh my god, like what the fuck did this team do to him?
Yeah, it was like Baker stole TJ's bike.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was hyped. I was like, oh.
What? Go ahead, Ryan.
No, it was just like, it was
crazy. You could see that team quit.
Yeah, and then we can get back to that, but like, you know, but maybe not just only Cleveland, but it's such a Cleveland thing to finally draft a good quarterback. And Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback. And I would take Baker Mayfield over probably at least half of the league.
I was going to say top 16.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
yes,
and they finally get it right.
And they fuck it up.
And they get Myles Garrett
ever.
And Myles Garrett's a really good player. Myles Garrett's downfall is, one, he always gets compared to TJ Watt, and 2, he hit Mason with the helmet. That will always stick with him.
It will.
But they finally got it right, and then they were just like, you know what? I'm going to bring on a guy that has 20-plus sexual assault allegations who might win us more games, even though, and this is going to piss off Steelers fans, the Steelers lost to the Browns in the playoffs at Heinz Field, whether you like it or not.
They did.
And Baker Mayfield led that charge, and he only had maybe 1 or 2 bad throws. Baker Mayfield
had a really nice game. I agree with you. But the Steelers offense, the last two playoff losses, the Steelers offense has lost the game for them both fucking times.
Completely agree. But Baker didn't do enough to lose that game, and neither did fucking Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Blake fucking Bortles.
But it's true.
Blake fucking Bortles, man.
Tim fucking Tebow.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Don't keep going down the line. Relax.
I'm having PTSD.
I still feel bad for Ike Taylor about that, man.
I do too. He got hung out.
He did.
Anyway, real quick, Ben. I saw some rumblings that when Mayfield goes to Carolina, he's actually gonna back up Sam Darnold.
No. He's going to compete. You don't trade for a guy and pay him. What the fuck? They're going to pay him $5 million to not be the guy. It's a show competition. Okay?
I agree.
Darnold was not the guy last year. He wasn't the guy with the Jets. Darnold's done. So basically, they're bringing him in. He is technically number 2 on the depth chart as he rolls in. That doesn't mean shit.
Nah. I don't think so either.
But you got to think. PJ Walker's the odd man out there, right?
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to be because they got Matt
Corral, Mayfield, and Darnold. Yeah, right?
Yeah. And I still think, Corral could be the guy of the future. I think, and then Darnold could be trade bait.
I was just going to say, if Corral has a really nice training camp preseason, then I think Darnold's
just like Mason Rudolph, is probably for the Steelers. And I don't think they're going to get much from Mason.
No, we've talked about that. No.
I think eventually that's what happens. And when Mason leaves, he will probably say some unkind things. Will be hurtful. Will really hurt my feelings. Probably not.
Maybe.
I don't think he will. No, because I think he's going to be on the roster opening day.
Really? What do you think? In what capacity?
I told you on this earlier. I think there might be some stupid fluky injury to Mitch or Kenny Pickett that keeps him out for a couple games. Just a couple games. I'm not saying I'm serious.
For 2 weeks.
A finger injury or something stupid like that, and they're forced to keep Mason.
The only reason they keep Mason, in my opinion, the only way they keep Mason is if he is going to be the starter because he has outperformed the other 2 gentlemen you just mentioned. If they have one of them who is healthy and somebody's a little nicked up and will be out for 2 weeks, Mason's toast. Now, if one of those guys is going to be out for 6 weeks,
different story.
2 weeks, they'll risk it.
I had a vision that during training camp, during what is the annual softball game, right? Scarps, they go up on the softball or baseball diamond. Don't they play softball?
Home run derby.
I had this vision that both Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky get freak injuries during the home run derby.
Yeah, that would be really bad.
And that leaves Mason as the starter.
That would be really, really bad.
I'm kidding.
Steelers Nation would collectively be
my God,
preparing for ritual seppuku.
Can you
after that happens? This is the end.
One of my fondest memories of training camp was it might have been my last training camp, was just like standing in left field, just shagging baseballs from the home run derby. I had a ripper in. I'm just fucking it was great, just fucking catching balls. But Troy Polamalu, I remember one time was walking by and so innocently was like, "Oh, is this the home run derby?" And he bats lefty, which nobody fucking bats lefty. It's just fucking ripping shit.
Wait,
and it was just
Troy
nobody. Huh?
Is Troy left-handed?
Yeah. And
he
he didn't even hit home runs. He just wanted to take a couple cracks. And deep down, I think you want to be like, oh, nobody knows I'm okay. And like, just be like, fuck it. I mean, this dude was fucking hitting ropes. I mean, it was unbelievable. Home Run Derby was always a great time because it was like towards the end of camp. It was always in the afternoon, and like you didn't have to worry about shit. But oh yeah, fond memories. Fucking having a couple rippers in, just standing there catching balls. I don't even know if they do that anymore. I mean, it's post-COVID camp. Who knows what they do? I don't know.
It was post-COVID, and it was kind of a Ben thing too, wasn't it?
Was your last camp 17?
No, I didn't go to 17 camps. It's 16 camp.
Okay.
You didn't go to 17 camp, so you were gone already before that one?
I left 2 weeks before 17 camp.
Oh wow.
Okay. So who would be a guy that the fans would not think of, but a guy that hits bombs in Home Run Derby? Is there one guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think back of the winners. Greg Warren, long snapper, he won.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah. I mean, and here's the other thing too. This is the other thing too. These dudes would get up there thinking they were fucking king shit, right?
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm a fucking strikeout. And Kevin Colbert would pitch, and it'd be like fucking 40-mile-an-hour fucking softballs coming at. No, it was we would use baseballs, but like it'd be like 40-mile-an-hour, just whatever.
Did Kevin have a screen in front of him?
Yeah, we had a screen. Yeah, we had a screen.
God.
Yeah, we were okay. We had a screen.
Yeah,
but like it'd be just 40-mile-an-hour overhand. Yeah. And these dudes would fucking. Well, I mean, you're talking like people you would think actually would be good would fucking swing and a miss 3 times in a row. You get a guy like Greg Warren would just fucking take his time and bang it. I'm trying to think of some other winners over my time there. Lawrence Timmons. Here's a guy. Lawrence Timmons would come over and would hit some practice balls.
Yeah.
He'd hit fucking home runs. Straight dead center. Lawrence Timmons hit a ball out of St. Vincent. Furthest I've ever seen in my life. Straight dead center.
That's the kind of content I'm looking for. I would have never guessed Lawrence Timmons.
In practice.
Right.
He'd be like, let me get a couple swings. Bang. I'm like, God damn, dude. He fucking come up. He fucking strike out. I'm not even kidding you. Lawrence Timmons hit a ball in practice to dead center. I mean, it looked like fucking hitting it off the wall at PNC Park. I mean, it was a bomb. And he would get up. He'd get up and Colbert would be pitching, whoever he pitching. Yeah. Fucking 3 straight swings, strikeout.
Unbelievable. So he's a practice player.
Ben was always good too. Good too.
He's just an athlete. He played 3 sports.
Listen. Fuck Ben. I'm just kidding. No. Ben can golf. He can fucking play ball. I mean, play baseball. I mean, dude, that guy's gifted physically. Good for him, man.
Speaking of that, it was a couple of weeks ago. Somebody was trying to get the whole rumor started that Ben. I think Ben's going to come back. Some team's going to offer him a chance to come back. I heard this story. I said, "There's no fucking way." Have you seen how much this guy is enjoying playing golf right now?
Yeah.
There is no way. And he just did that little icons competition. He's playing with Emmitt Smith and some. Yeah. He was having a great time. He's not coming back, people. Forget it.
I don't think so either.
No.
I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I would too.
I mean, you never know. At mid-season, somebody says, "Hey, Ben, you want to come back and play for 8 games?
Have you been throwing? What can you
do? You never know."
You ready for this?
Oh, boy. Here we go.
You ready? I'm coming in hot tonight.
Uh-oh.
Give me Ben Roethlisberger right now over any quarterback on that roster.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I agree with you. Now, don't get me wrong. Ben.
I'm dead fucking serious.
I agree with you, Ryan. He's more effective as a quarterback than any quarterback in the roster we have right now. But that said, his skills are declining. And they are not going to get better. And it is time to get younger at that position. It is. Ben.
Yes.
Ben was not his best last year.
No.
Ben displayed a great deal of know-how last year.
Especially deep balls.
He made great fucking decisions last year.
Yeah.
He did. And engineered, some what was it, 7 game-winning drives. 6 of them were fourth quarter comebacks. I mean, fucking amazing. That's the reason that they won so many one-score games, as Ryan has pointed out many times. Yeah. That getting back to returning to the mean, which would be closer to like 500 ball or winning 4 out of 10 of those close one-score games. Last year, what were they?
8-2-1 last year.
8-2-1 last year. 8-2-1. Well, the one was Mason.
Fuck that guy. But no, but yes, but and then the year before that they were 7-2. And I tweeted this the other day.
The thing that a veteran Hall of Fame quarterback who can see shit before the ball is snapped gives you. And that's the thing that the fans don't seem to understand. People seem to think that the quarterback position is going to be improved this year, that it's going to be a better performance. That
physically, maybe. Physically.
No, physically bullshit. The guy will be more mobile. Will he be as effective? No.
Yeah, I buy that.
He will not.
Yeah.
And that is, at the end of the day, as Herb Edwards put it so many years ago, you play to win the game. You play to win the game, right?
Yep.
So, will the quarterback be as effective this year? No, he will not. Sorry.
And again, when you say be as effective, you're talking about being able to pre-snap read, being able to read post-snap, being able to deliver the ball,
being able to make good decisions that lead your team to convert third downs, keep the chains moving, and eventually get into the red zone where you score touchdowns.
And I just, and we're off the rails, such is life, but
what we do here, Ryan,
such is life, but
Ryan's been drinking.
I have, and whatever, whatever, man. Listen, I've had food poisoning the last 3 weeks. I'm finally on the up and come, if you will, quite frankly. But if you don't think, and I'm fucking dead serious saying this, if you don't think the other 3 teams in the AFC North aren't excited that Ben Roethlisberger is not at the helm right now, you're crazy. Right. Because
especially the Ravens.
But here's the thing.
Especially the Ravens.
Even a team like the Ravens, who's had the most success against him, which isn't much, but even a team like the Ravens is like, oh, you don't think John Harbaugh right now is like, thank fucking God this guy's here. A guy like Zach Taylor and Kevin Stefanski have been in head coaches a couple years. If you don't think right now they're like, oh fuck, thank God this guy.
Because that guy would pull some off-script shit out of his ass that you could not prepare for, that you had no idea was coming, and he'd win with it. Yeah. Again and again and again and again. And that shit's got to grate on you. It's got to get old.
Hell yeah, it does.
The Steelers, since 2014, the Steelers are above 500. Since 2014, the Steelers are 500 or above in one-score games every year.
Probably won't.
I tweeted this. Yeah, I tweeted this the other day at Scarpezzi. I'm plugging myself because I'm feeling good.
It's down there right below your face.
Yes, but anyway, the last time they were under 500 in that category in one-score games was 2013, and they still finished 8-8. Okay, I think they were 2-5 in 2013, still finished 8-8. So every year since then, even when Ben was hurt in 2019, they were 500 or above in one-score games. And then in the last 2 years, they're 15-4-1 in one-score games.
Wow.
15-4.
That's a big number.
That's fucking amazing.
It is. It really, really is.
75% win percentage?
I mean,
wow.
I mean, I'm no mathematician, but yeah, it's like 77.5%.
No, it's 75%. I mean, basically, if you count the tie as a loss, which I do because it was fucking Detroit.
It was 0.5.
75% because that was a loss.
16.5 divided by 20.
Whatever. It was fucking Detroit, and they sucked ass.
Take the math to another podcast. This podcast doesn't do math, you assholes.
15.5 divided by 20 is 77 and a half. Anyway.
Somebody works at Carnegie Mellon University, and they used to break out.
Oh, there we go.
Fine.
Yeah.
Plug it.
Bougie.
Bougie as fuck. Good. No. The point is.
It's impressive.
Do you think Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky is going to get you to 15-4-1 in the next 2 years in one-score games?
I do not. No.
Come on.
I'm going to have some whiskey.
Have some whiskey. We'll all have whiskey. Let me segue our rant here real quick to remind everybody we are proudly presented by DEK Roofing of South Florida. DEK serves Broward and the southern Palm Beach counties, whether it's commercial, industrial, residential, multi-family, or condos. Contact DEK Roofing today by visiting DEK. That's DEK Roofing.com.
Multi-family.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
I wish Ian was here for that joke.
Yeah, I know.
It just doesn't hit the same way.
He's got his hands full of diapers right now. I wanted to bring up something that I was just thinking about regarding Najee Harris. I think if you're even a casual Steelers fan, you know Mike Tomlin likes a bell cow and likes to run literally the wheels off of that player. Okay,
really?
And I know, shocker.
That.
Yeah, it happens.
Do you think that started in like 2007?
You're terrible.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it possible that Matt Canada's offense could take a little bit of the load off of him?
Off Najee?
Off Najee.
No. Let us throw the ball more.
So even with more movement,
let us throw the ball more.
Well, but what I'm getting at is
they will get him the ball in space as opposed to doing what they did last year, which is running him between the tackles.
Okay, that's fair. But what I guess what I'm saying is we all know we did not see the true Matt Canada offense.
Really?
All of us watched enough tape of when he was, at Pitt, when he was at Maryland. What we saw last year was not even close. Okay?
Yeah, but the shit that he called in the red zone was his, and it was less.
Believe me, something tells me we'll be talking about that this season.
It was less than inspiring.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
But I'm just wondering, with a guy like Mitchell Trubisky, who we know can get out of the pocket,
to the right.
Don't go left, Mitchell.
Tough crowd tonight, man.
Don't go left, baby.
I mean, honestly, what they should do is roll him left on every single drop back, because that gives him at least 3/4 of the field in front of him to his right.
They might in camp, get him used to it. I think that
I'm just saying.
I am not naive. I know that Mike Tomlin's going to run Najee Harris's wheels off over the next 3 more years. We know what's coming. Okay. I
would say over the next 4 years, but yeah, you're right.
I'm just trying to look at this as optimistically as I can and say, you know what? If you can use a Calvin Austin, as small as he is, not necessarily on jet sweeps, but even just a quick play action, you dump it to him, see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think Calvin Austin on a jet sweep would be a great idea.
Too small.
I mean,
and he's too small.
He's $175 if he's that heavy.
Too small.
Is there a player in NFL history that's been similar to him?
People keep comparing him to Tyreek Hill. I think they're on crack.
No. Tyreek is not only fast and quick, he's a
crack and
dude.
Fucking meth.
Tyreek Hill has got an impressive base.
Yes.
Okay, he doesn't have a real thick upper body, but his legs and his ass are impressive. He's got an impressive base, which is how he gets away from tackles
Mm-hmm.
And it's why guys like Dree Archer and Calvin Austin don't. Being very honest. I mean, Calvin Austin's an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that he's going to have a lot of yak. He may get some catches, and I hope he does, but he's not going to be a guy that's going to get you a lot of yards after the catch. That's my take right now. Hopefully I am dead wrong, and that all works out. But if I'm running a jet sweep with a wide receiver, I'm using Claypool.
Yeah.
And I'm sending a guard around that side.
For sure.
On a counter.
For sure.
Who is going to take out a linebacker, and I'm going to give him a chance. And he's going to have at least 5 yards of pretty, depending on the corner.
Yeah.
He's going to have pretty clear space. It depends on who's blocking on the other side, the wide receiver. Because let's put it this: Deontay is not a great blocker. He's not awful. He's willing, but he's not a great blocker.
But that's what I'm getting at, though. Austin aside, if you can get touches that end up as positive, touches for a Claypool, and for a Freiermuth, whomever else, can you take a little bit off of his load? Because I think Mark Cabali of The Athletic made a good point this week. He was talking about Benny Snell. He said Benny Snell is probably best when he gets between 11 and 17 carries a game. That ain't going to happen.
No, probably
he's not going to get 11 carries a game, and therefore he's probably not the best guy for
unless Najee gets hurt.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the only way it's happening.
Or he gets nicked up, a little bit nicked up,
right?
And they want to reduce his workload. It probably won't happen. 17 games. I think Najee's going to touch the ball 400 times, and I think all they're going to do is they're going to throw him that 3-yard dump off, and say, okay, do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Make the first guy miss, which he's good at doing.
Yep,
he's very good at doing.
Or running through.
He usually makes the first guy miss,
and
he's been the first person to say, that's my job. My job is to make the first guy miss, and then go. And he's going to take a lot of hits, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And I think that the Matt Canada offense is going to be a one and done. That's me, but that's my expectation right now, and I really, really hope I'm wrong.
Well, I hope you are, just from the aspect of, because I know what it means as far as the team, but I also know what it means as far as Kenny Pickett, because the list is long of quarterbacks who've come into this league and they've suffered greatly because they've had to go through multiple offensive coordinators their first few years. Look at Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, but but look at the number of quarterbacks that came in and they said, this guy is so talented that we're going to redesign our offense and it's going to revolve around him. And I'm going to be frank.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett is not that guy.
No, I don't think he is either. I think we all agree this offense runs through Najee.
As we're getting closer to camp, I think we've always been on the same page, but
I wouldn't say that, but sure.
No,
we hate similar pages.
No, regarding Pickett, I think we've been on the same page.
I'm rooting for him.
Anyway,
I'm rooting for him. He's a Steeler now.
I agree. Since 2017, other guys other than Le'Veon, James Conner, or Najee, rushing yards wise, it's Benny Snell. I think he's like 900, if that. After that, it's like Jalen Samuels and then Ben Roethlisberger is the third person after that.
Is Jalen even in the league anymore?
No, he's not.
I didn't think so.
But Jalen ain't even that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Tried to play himself off the roster, which sucks my ass. It's just terrible. I'm so disappointed in that guy. His rookie season was so promising, and then
Now, is it his fault or is it schematics or is it play calling? Anyway, as I've called for on this show.
I don't know whose fault it is, but it just sucks. It's disappointing.
I agree. And as I've called for on the show and on Twitter and wherever, whoever will listen.
The Twitter.
Please, God, give me somebody that can spell Najee. And obviously the Steelers think that's Benny Snell. And I'm a little hesitant. Well,
it's either Benny or they think that they're going to strike lightning with one of these two guys they brought in as an undrafted free agent. That ain't happening. I mean, if it does, fantastic. I'll gladly eat.
I don't think Benny Snell is the answer because he is not. I mean, he's like Najee light, right?
No, he's Kamali hit it on the head. It's not Najee Giants game. Remember when he started
straight ahead runner? He's not even a one-cut guy.
Nah, but
okay, but I mean in terms of production, like I don't mean like skill set. I mean like
all right.
I mean like Najee at any given moment, whether he passes, he might fucking be passing this year. Who knows with this fucking offense? But whether he's catching the ball or running the ball,
he probably will at some point.
Whether he's catching the ball or running the ball, I feel like Najee's a threat. For Benny Snell, I feel like he's either like 1 yard or 5 yards. Where I feel like Najee's going to get you 4 every time. Every time. Like,
okay, I think that with Benny Snell, you're looking at a guy who, if he has room, is going to get you some yards. It's entirely dependent upon the line.
Sure.
That's fair.
The first guy who hits him is going to get fucked up. The first guy who hits Benny Snell is going to take a hit.
Yeah.
Straight up. Because Benny's got no wiggle.
No, he never has.
Straight ahead guy. He could play fullback in this league and probably do okay. He'd probably do okay in a
maybe they shouldn't have signed Derek Watt then.
Right? In a run-heavy offense, though, Benny Snell can play fullback and do okay. Seriously. I think, and this is just my instinct, I have no insight. I have asked. I've gotten dick in response. I think they believe that Anthony McFarland can be the change of pace back.
Holy fuck.
That they've been looking for. I don't necessarily agree.
I should have come on the show last week.
What I've seen thus far does not tell me that. But I think that's what they think. They made no effort, zero effort to get better at backup running back this year. None. Which tells me
you're not wrong.
And I'm the asshole.
They think, huh?
Nah.
No. I joke because I literally tweet this like every 2 weeks, and I've tweeted it since the draft. Like, please God, give them a fucking make them see what I see. And people are like,
they think they have the goods.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They have the goods in-house. They are sure they have the goods in-house. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm not a Benny Snell fan, never have been. You know,
yeah.
No,
Anthony McFarland is a question mark. I don't fucking know. Let's hope so. The offensive line, still a question mark.
Oh, God.
I have serious questions along the offensive line, especially at center and right tackle. Sorry, everybody who's a Chooks fan. I think that's not a great contract.
Yeah.
Ryan apparently went for a potty break.
Well, he knew that I was about ready to talk about our wonderful sponsors with the Pigskin Podcast Network.
Okay, there we go.
This is DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN. Make your first deposit and get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's promo code TPPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Yeah, it's summer. It's
seriously, $1,000 bet, risk-free. Seriously.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
That's insane.
It just tells you how well these gambling houses are doing.
Yes, it does, actually.
God.
But you know what else this whole thing was telling about? This moment we just had was Mark putting on his reading glasses to read that ad. He's old as fuck.
I am. And I would also like to point out that I ran into the dollar store yesterday to get some new cheaters because the old ones just weren't strong enough. So I figure by the time I'm done doing this podcast in a couple of years, I'll look like Walleye from the movie Hot Shots.
My ophthalmologist tells me that when you get past the age of 50, that your vision doesn't decline as rapidly as it does between 20 and 40. Wow, I've had a few drinks too. It's awesome. I'm almost like Ryan, not quite. Getting there though. I'm chasing you, buddy. I am chasing as hard as I can. I am chasing you. I'm gonna catch you before this is over. It's gonna happen.
Has anybody? I don't know this.
What's that?
We're getting old when we ask. Does anybody wear contacts?
Yeah,
I do not.
I do.
You do?
I do not.
Do you have glasses?
Yep.
Still, Dad, do you have glasses?
I only have reading glasses. My vision did not really start to go until about 46.
Yeah, my vision. I only have the only time I got prescribed glasses only to wear at night if I'm driving.
Okay.
So that's the one thing I haven't. I haven't lost my hearing, my smell, or my eyes, but I lost. I don't even know what I'm going to say, but it was about to get vulgar. But
that happens on this show.
It happens.
I lost my asshole. I had food poisoning the past couple weeks. If anyone's listening, foodborne illness, bacteria came in me. It festered.
He had some good Chipotle though, so at least that was like the benefit.
The worst thing ever. You said shit on my enemy. It was the worst thing ever.
Was it Chipotle?
What?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Chipotle. No.
Thai food?
No.
Chinese?
I don't know. We'll never be able to sort of decipher where it happened from.
Well, I know it wasn't Bettis Grill 36. I guarantee you.
No, it definitely wasn't.
That place is closed.
Yes,
there's two types of food poisoning. There's the one that comes through you and quickly and kills you, but then there's the other one that comes in, it festers, and then it's just that's what I got. And my fiance did. It was the fucking worst thing ever. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. At one point, it was just like I told you last week. Death. I felt like death would be too easy. It was just terrible, man.
You listeners, you come here for Steelers opinion and analysis. You can't find information about food poisoning on any other show.
Yeah. Listen,
and I mean, you should be grateful.
We are human.
A quick visual.
Before everything else.
A quick visual of Ryan sitting on his toilet.
That's right.
With water coming out of his ass and a bucket in his hand so he can throw up at the same time.
Fortunately.
It sounds like the night before my wedding.
Fortunately, never threw up.
Oh, the good for you. Okay.
My fiance, my wife did.
Okay.
And once she did, we took her to the ER. She got some antibiotics. She's okay. Yeah, she rounded faster than I did. But oh yeah. At one point, I thought my asshole fell in the toilet. I'm saying it to all you listeners. I was that nervous. That's how bad it was. It was.
It was like, have you guys ever eaten a bunch of...
If you tuned in last week and didn't see me, now you know why. You enjoyed the show more.
Have you guys ever eaten a bunch of habaneros?
No, not a bunch.
That's kind of what that's like. The next day, your whole system's cleaned out, completely.
Oh,
so
top to bottom, the whole thing just flushes out. And at the very end, when the habaneros come out, it's kind of like passing razor blades.
Listen, I do not particularly like spicy food. I like spicy food, but I like.
You're Italian. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm talking like extra, like the extra.
He likes a little oregano.
But you're Italian.
Yeah, but like hot the sausage is not the same as fucking habaneros and shit like that. Like that's
not.
We're crossing cultures here, okay? That's fine.
Carolina
we embrace everybody here in the SC Blitz.
I'm not talking Carolina ghost pepper, which is just hot to be hot. Like habaneros actually have flavor. They're good.
No, but I mean, like, if we're talking, some Christmas Eve, we got a little fucking squid, some calamari with some hot peppers or something like that.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm talking like that show on YouTube where like they got the hot shit, hot stuff.
Idiots.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know.
That's not Italian.
No, those people are just eating hot shit to eat hot shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's not Italian.
That's not enjoying the flavor of the food. That's just eating some hot shit to eat some hot shit.
Italian hot is not that.
No.
All right, fine.
And by the way, congratulations to Joey Jaws Chestnut on another impressive victory.
Whatever.
I still say the whole thing.
Did you see the guy fighting a fucking heckler before he fucking won the thing?
He did. He fucking choked him out.
Was it just me, or did it look like he was going to snap his neck?
Yes.
I thought he was going to kill the guy.
Fuck that guy.
In any case, congrats to him. I still think they should do it.
That was Ryan, not me.
Whatever. Okay, I got two more Steelers topics tonight.
What?
Believe it or not, I do. Training camp. The Steelers always or almost always address some issue during camp by bringing somebody. Ben, if you right now, and let's just assume that there's no injuries, but that's stupid because we know there's always injuries. But anyway, what position would most likely the Steelers bring someone in at?
Outside linebacker depth. Again.
Yeah.
So you would put that as number. What would be like
Let's hope it's not some asshole like Melvin Ingram who has delusions of playing on every snap and then gets pissed and says, I don't want to be here.
Right.
You're not playing me enough.
Hey, it was karmic justice that prick didn't go to the Super Bowl. Let's just put it that
way.
Fuck him. Any case, Scarps, what would you say? You agree with that, or you got a different position?
Yeah, outside linebackers definitely won't, but
what about center?
O-line, yeah. I mean, Ben, that's a good point. But we talked about this earlier, but I don't know who's out there. Running back?
Running back too. I mean,
you know.
Yeah.
What if a guy like David Johnson's still available?
What if a guy like Mewelde Moore?
Oh my God!
So I'm going to say that. So Ben, I agree with you. To me, David Johnson is.
I agree, but David Johnson wants too much money right now.
And are we talking David Johnson 4 or 5 years ago or now? Because there's a big difference. So, man, I'm going to take shit.
But here's the thing about this. When these guys, when you get further into camp, to camp, these guys are willing to take 1-year deals to get back in and show their goods,
right? Because
they want to prove they can be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, like a David Johnson would be willing to take a 1-year deal. Now, I'm not saying he's going to play for the minimum, but he might play for, $1.5 million, $2 million.
Especially if he can get through without having to go to camp.
The other thing that the other thing that sort of scares me about the Steelers running back situation is that, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not a homer by any means.
Really?
I do.
I had not noticed that.
I'm not.
Really?
I'm not shocked. Negative, but if
you're really negative, Ryan.
Whatever. Super. Fuck this guy. But team, if I'm an opposing team I think Najee's really good, right? Like I'm like,
yeah, he's good.
This guy's really good.
Right.
He scares me. But if he's not in the game and there's a running back on the field, I'm kind of like, I don't really care about this guy.
Yeah, light
I
box.
don't
Fuck
care.
this.
Like
6-man box. Here we go.
Whether that's Benny Snell.
No, you're right.
Or a kid from Duke.
Anthony
I can't
McFarland,
remember.
the kid from Duke.
No disrespect. No disrespect. But then, even if I'm the other team at this point and it's David Johnson, I'm not scared of David Johnson. So it's just like, I feel, again.
I would be scared of David Johnson.
You would?
Yeah, because you never know when he's going to fucking break.
That's fair because he was hurt and he's had a history, but
and you can never discount name recognition. Psychology is a bitch sometimes in football. I mean, you look across
kind of like Larry Fitzgerald, even at the end of his career when he wasn't as productive, but it's like it's fucking Larry Fitz.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
You know he's going to catch it anyway. I mean, honestly, Larry Fitz, at the end of his career, maybe he couldn't run away from you. But if he ran a 10-yard out for a first down, he was going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
And you're
absolutely.
I mean, and you're kind of screwed because it's like, oh, what do I do? Ah! Okay, the chains moved. Okay, well, fuck.
Yeah. I agree with you guys. I think running back's important. I think outside linebacker. I think O-line is a potential there.
I would also, if we're out of time, tell me to fuck off. But
you're fine.
Fuck off, Brian.
Going to after this, but maybe a corner. Maybe a corner. I don't know.
I guess it would just depends on who comes available.
I would love to see Joe Hayden come back.
And I'm not even saying Joe Hayden, but
I would love to see Joe Hayden come back. And I'm going to put it out there, but not necessarily as a guy who's going to be the man.
No,
and I don't know because in his entire career, Joe Hayden has been the man.
Yeah.
And to bring him back and say, look, you're going to have to compete for playing time. I don't know how he is going to feel about that or how he can operate under that kind of a situation. And
so
what that does to him.
Let's say they brought him back right now. Would he be a starter in your opinion?
No.
Okay.
And that's not to say that he's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Steelers are intentionally getting younger, which they need to do it.
Agree.
Yeah.
And they are maybe looking for a guy who can provide some leadership within that unit, which would be good. And if Hayden can come in and prove that he's still, good enough to be that guy, then maybe he would be a starter. But at this point, they kind of pencil in their guys because they're trying to get younger. They're trying to grow that unit. And the way you grow that unit is through experience. And that experience comes through playing time.
Yeah, no argument here.
So it is what it is, man.
My last topic, Steelers-wise, is, of course, the NFL now only does 3 preseason games since they added the 17th regular season game. How does Mike Tomlin, Ryan, go about evaluating these quarterbacks? It's not as easy as when you had 4 games.
It's not?
I don't personally think it is. You've got one less game now. I mean, I don't think it's as easy as saying, okay, Rudy, you got the first one, and Mitchell, you got the second one, and Kenny, you got the third one. I don't think it's that easy.
Rudy. Well, sorry, I got a little excited.
There you go. So, I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, are all 3 going to play all 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different because
out of fucking beer.
Get more.
I'm out of a whiskey, though.
There you go. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, please. Benjamin, Do you?
He's talking about whiskey.
No, talk about the goddamn quarterbacks.
Okay, so 4 preseason games was, and people might not believe this, but that extra preseason game was a big deal. It really was.
Absolutely.
Not only for the quarterback position, but those sort of, those positions that
the special teams guys, those fringe guys,
especially these positions where you're like, you know what, it's either between this guy or that guy. I don't really know. So,
did you ever ask Danny Smith which guy he was going to keep and which guy he wasn't?
No, I knew. I've known Danny Smith since I was like 5 years old, man. Like, I don't ask. Like, it was actually very cool. I've known Danny Smith since I was 5 years old. He's known my dad. Grew up with my dad. They both graduated from different high schools. Grew up on the same street.
Okay.
But
that's all fine and good. What kind of gum does that asshole chew? I want to send him a bunch of it.
What
is
bubble.
it?
Double bubble.
Double
in
bubble.
In the buckets, baby.
Steel City Blitz is sending that guy a bucket of double bubble.
Or
when he joined the team, it was beautiful because I'd known him almost my whole life. But then, motherfucker always had gum. Any given chance, I'd be like, Danny, man, I need some. He'd be like, you want me to go? He's like a drug dealer, man. He handed me like fucking 5 pieces. Be like, it's good for your teeth. It's good for your jaw. It's good for your teeth. I'd be chewing like
that much is not.
Training camp was so stressful for many reasons. I'd have like 9 pieces in my mouth like at any given time. But no, I never asked Danny like personnel questions. Maybe once or twice I might have, but never like I would go to him and be like, hey, who's gonna make the team and who's not? Anyway. But yeah, that fourth
preseason, he has 5 or 6 spots. He does.
Right.
Oh, dude. And that's the thing people don't realize. They tend to focus on the position, but not based on what they can do on teams. So it's like they focus on position, but not teams related. So
let's just say hypothetically, Mike Tomlin and his coordinators are sitting down, and they have 47 players.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, Danny Smith, pretty much by himself, says to Mike, I like these 6 guys. We really need to keep them. Would you say that's accurate?
I'm not going to say it's not. I'm not going to say it's not. I'm not going to say it's not accurate. I'm not going to say that. But I do believe and I agree that those conversations go down that way. I'm going to give you an example of Jordan Dangerfield, who's no longer on the team.
Oh, such a great special teams player, though.
But
yeah.
Oh my God!
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, could Jordan Dangerfield cover the field as good as I'm trying to think of it? I can't. What the hell was his name? Who's the dude that Tom Brady torched like 2019?
Anthony Smith.
No, Smith. That was like 07.
No, that was Anthony Smith.
Wait,
2019?
Yeah, the one safety. The one safety. He didn't necessarily talk bad about Brady, but like it's like Cam something, not Cam. Oh shit!
Why am I drawing a blank? Anyway,
could he? Oh my God! I can't believe I.
I know where you're drawing a blank. Too many drinks.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I do. I can see him, but I can't think of the name. I can't say it.
Because I'm thinking Cam Kennedy, who's our long snapper,
No.
but
definitely not him.
No, but he was a safety.
Yeah,
and he might have talked a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady torched it. It was like 30. That was a 33-3 game in 2019.
Yeah.
Anyway, could Jordan Dangerfield cover the field as good as that guy could? No. But Jordan Dangerfield could cover special teams.
No, Sean, what's his fuck?
Huh? Anyway, but my point is,
Davis.
Yeah, Cam Davis. There it is.
No, Sean Davis.
No. Oh my God, it's gonna bother me.
Hold on, I'll have it for you in a second here. I can tell it's grinding your gears here.
Anyway, special teams is super, super important for those final roster positions.
Yeah, it is. God, Jesus Christ. People do not realize it.
Man, it's like
6 spots.
Like
Cam Kelly.
There it is.
Cam
That
Kelly. Fucking guy. He was a street free agent.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cam Kelly, they trusted Cam Kelly more than Jordan Dangerfield to cover the field.
Well, he's a free safety. You got to trust him.
Yeah.
His choice.
Okay. They trusted him to cover the field more on possession downs, but on special teams, they were like, Jordan, you got this. But those positions, special teams mean so much, especially yes. I don't necessarily know if it's the final 6, but 4 to 5, yes. And I'm trying to think of a guy. I'm
thinking the final 6, seriously, because
it might be 6. You might be right.
You got 22 guys that play special teams, and the bulk of those guys play offensive line, so they just stay out there, right?
But then you got outside line. You got your Arthur Moats.
Right.
Arthur Moats is played on special teams. You got your
Arthur Moats played both linebacker positions and special teams, which is why he hung out for so long.
Yeah,
he was a versatile player. He could do all that shit.
I'm trying to think. Excuse me. There was always a guy that Tomlin used to reference on talking about he made the team based on special teams. It wasn't Terrence Garvin. It was another guy around that.
I mean, Garvin pretty much did. But
Garvin was definitely it.
Yeah.
But there was another.
He was fantastic.
There was another guy that was maybe a little bit more well known.
Matakevich?
Oh yeah, absolutely him. But there was a guy a little bit around the time of Garvin that Tomlin used to always even when he would talk at events and whatnot, he would always say this is the guy that can't remember the name. Yeah, it'll come back to me. Call God.
What's our slogan? We've had some drinks. I think so.
Listen, man, it's been a long week.
Ryan,
when you're
drinking before the podcast, the best thing to do is just keep drinking through it.
That's what I did this time.
That way you won't fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazingly, we got on that topic, and the original question was, how are we going to evaluate these quarterbacks?
That.
Long story short.
It's a fucking circus.
Long story short, if everybody's healthy, I'd give them each one game with the first team for a half.
Fuck that.
Okay. All right. Well, Ben, what would you do then?
I'm not giving Mason fucking Rudolph half of the first fucking team. Fuck that guy. He is no longer. He doesn't matter. I'm sorry to be so dismissive, but I'm not burning those reps on that guy. I'm giving the rookie some time with the starters for sure. If I think Mitch Trubisky is my guy based upon practices, I'm going to make sure that he learns the offense as well as possible and gets as much time as possible with the starters in the preseason so that they gel.
Does the fact that we have a very difficult schedule out of the box, does that factor into this?
It's only 6 games, but yeah. I mean, does it factor into it? I mean, it does, but Tomlin doesn't look at things that way. He looks at the big picture.
I know he doesn't. That's why I'm asking.
He looks at the big picture. He's not looking at game by game by game. Yes, he does that shit on Monday.
Sure.
But he's not doing that in camp. That's not him. And he's done it successfully for a while. So he's not going to change his approach to the season based upon that. No.
Ryan, go ahead. Wrap us up here.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I truly do. I get what they're doing with Mason. In my opinion, there's no need to trade him now.
No.
But there might come a time when there's value for Mason. But
6th-round pick.
Whatever. At this
As
point,
opposed to a 7th.
I'm a Mason fan, and I love Mason, but
You're not a Mason fan. You just feel like he got fucked over and didn't get a fair shot. But
fuck yeah, he didn't. But okay,
there we go.
If it was me, if this is the truth, if it was me, I'd have Mason start the first game, Pickett start the second game.
Why waste those reps?
And then Mitch, because if there's only 3 games, you can divvy the reps.
Yeah.
Because to me, the third game is still the third game as it always has been, where it's the most important game.
So
the starters always played that first half of the third game.
True.
So now you're basically eliminating that fourth game didn't mean shit. So if you don't care about Mason, fuck it. Throw him out there first game. Kenny gets the second game, first half, and then Mitch gets the third game, first half. Why are you throwing Mitch out there first game preseason for no reason?
Is Chris Oludekin, is he going to get more snaps than any of these guys in the preseason?
I fucking hope not. No disrespect, but I mean, why? Why?
He might. Because what's going to happen is
they will be all second half snaps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With a whole bunch of guys who won't make the team.
Okay.
Still.
I thought you meant first team. I thought you meant like first half.
No, I just mean
reps.
in general, is he going to have more snaps than the other 3? And I think he will.
I think he will too.
Ooh, Let's take a bet right now
because he's going to get most of the second half snaps.
It's kind of hard to find stats in the preseason, though.
It is
stats on the preseason.
That's fair.
Snap counts on the preseason are difficult to like.
We'd have to add them up by the game.
Yeah, you got to go play by play.
No, you get the game book. You get the game books.
Hey, man, I got that StatHead subscription. Those guys are outstanding.
They are actually outstanding.
Yeah.
He's talking about Pro Football Reference, and they
Football Reference is great.
StatHead,
highly recommend that subscription. Look shout out for the guys.
You know who's a StatHead? Scarpino over there.
So what?
He's a StatHead.
He is a StatHead. He tweets some serious shit, man.
Serious shit.
And on that note, we can get the hell out of here. We've been talking for like 75 damn minutes.
Are we leaving? It's only 11:30 your time.
Well, yeah, but anyway.
You guys are a couple of bitches.
We can end the podcast and talk afterwards like we normally do.
No. One of these days I'll have to record that secretly.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Anyway, thank you for listening to the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by DEK Roofing Incorporated of South Florida. Got a couple weeks to go before training camp starts. And hey, go Steelers.
Ravens suck.
Ian, congrats.